Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you the second set from the finals of the Heritage League. Savior and Nada taking down the first game, able to take Savior down as both players attacked each other's natural expansions. Nada just barely able to hold on, losing most of his SCVs, but his command center survived and he was able to hold his ramp, and Savior was unable to really defend, and his entire natural expansion went down and his main was under siege. Savior was forced to GG, Nada taking game 1. And Savior has a lot of work to do if he's going to live up to what he said, that he will destroy everyone and take a title here in 2009. He said he would. He said he would destroy everyone in 2009, but he was already knocked out of the OSL and the MSL. Hasn't really gotten much action here in the Pro League playoffs either. Even though his CJ Entis is still alive, hasn't really been seeing a lot of game time. So this is really it. This is really where he's going to get an opportunity to start taking people down, at least in the first, well, a little over halfway through 2009. This is going to be his first big opportunity, and this time we're going to be on destination. We're going to have Savior in green at the 12 o'clock position, and Nada in blue at the 6 o'clock position. Nada in blue at the 6 o'clock, Savior in green at the 12 o'clock. This is destination. I'm actually not too sure about the map statistics on this map, whether there really is too much of an advantage. And actually, yeah, this is going to be another Terran favored map. Python also was a highly Terran favored map, about 60% Terran favored over Zerg, and this map again is 60% Terran favored over Zerg. So we could see, so Savior's going to have some work to do, and really trying to take this game off of Nada, as Nada does have the map advantage. And even if he does take this down, he's going to go to a third game on Neo Medusa, which again is something like 58-59% Terran favored. So somehow, I don't know if it was luck of the draw or what it was, but Savior getting a bad map draw here in this pool with 3 games that are highly Terran favored against Zerg in the Pro League, or well, I should say in the pro scene overall. And it's hard to overcome those map imbalances sometimes when they are that strong. 60% is extremely statistically significant, and a player of Nada's caliber, the winningest player in StarCraft history, with something like 378 wins, which is just absolutely ridiculous, pushing 400 wins when no other player, I don't believe, has even gotten to 300. Even players Boxer, July, Savior, none of these guys have even gotten to 300 wins, and then you've got Nada, who's going to get to 400 wins probably by the end of this year. He only needs something like 20 more, should be able to get to 200 or 400 wins by the end of 2009, and that just shows you just how good Nada has been throughout the years as one of the winningest players in StarCraft history. We see the drone scout coming out and able to sneak in here, gonna get a full scout, and nothing all that special going on in Nada's base here to start, although that drone doing a great job of stopping Nada from actually putting down a supply depot and getting a full block. And actually we might see this SCV go down. Nada SCV has only a couple hits left on it, and that SCV is Nada with some great micro, able to get that SCV at least a little bit away from that drone, and we'll see whether or not he's really able to save it. Savior trying so hard to get this SCV, just to get this little victory on Nada, chasing around the mineral lines, and now finally Savior giving up on that SCV, trying to find it again maybe here, but unable to kill it so far. This is going to be I can tell that the announcers also are very, very interested to see whether or not Savior is able to get this SCV, as he's trying very, very hard to find it. Oddly enough, I would have thought Nada might have even had another SCV come and try and repair it, but he's not going to bother, just going to have his Marine come out and try and kill that drone. Although that SCV is still up at the top of the mineral lines, and Savior's might be able to work his way towards it. And no, I think Savior at this point has lost that SCV. I don't think he knows where that SCV is. I don't think he's really following it anymore. And Nada actually is going to go for a at least early mech build here. We saw the early gas into factory here. So unless he's going rates, we are going to see a mech build out of Nada, which has been popularized by a lot of Terran players in TVZ, with early vulture harassments being so effective against drones and Zerglings. Zerg players really have trouble countering it until they get Hydralisk then out and get some Hydras, and even with Mutalisks, the Mutalisks, you really want to be attacking with Mutalisks, don't want to be defending so much, and even if a Zerg player goes Spire, those vultures can still be very, very devastating. We're seeing a third hatchery go down for Savior at the natural expansion as well. Finally, that drone goes down, unable to take down Nada's 5 HP SCV. But for the TVZ mechanized build, I have to say that a lot of older gamers like Flash and Nada here still rely more on the M&M, SK Terran build, more so than the mechanized build that's been popularized by Fantasy and Up Magic and some of those quote-unquote really creative Terran players. For whatever reason, especially from Flash, Flash really does go for M&M more often than mech almost every single time, and Nada too. Nada I haven't seen go mech too often versus Zerg player. He really does prefer his M&M build, and it requires a lot more control out of players in order to use your M&M build than it does. It takes a lot less micro in order to take down, in order to use mech than it does M&M in terms of your control. But still, players with a good M&M control still prefer it. And we saw Savior able to take down a Marine there at the back of Nada's base. Little victory there for Savior, with one Zergling able to take down a Marine. Good trade-off for him. The first Vulture is out for Nada. Gonna go try and do some harassment on Savior. Savior morphing to Lair right now, but he's got a Hydralisk Den up as well as 2 hatcheries, and that is a very tight block by Savior. It's gonna be, I don't think a Vulture can really get through that without going through the mineral lines. And with the second colony there's no way that Vultures are really going to be able to get through there effectively. The command center has been built and lifted for Nada, so he's going to be taking his natural expansion. Again, we're going to see a pretty early economic build from Nada. Going to go for the economic lead and push for more of a late game strategy like we saw last time, although his early game Marine and Fire Bat push was rather effective in that first game in terms of putting Savior behind and just gaining somewhat of a tactical advantage on Savior. That was a critical push, even though he did go for a very early command center. And now we're seeing the Vultures come in here for some harassment and taking shots at buildings, which Vultures do virtually nothing against buildings. We are seeing Savior's first-person view as well with this Hydralisk. He's not going to trying to hide them, but he's working them around the mineral lines, because going through the mineral lines is going to disrupt his drones a lot. And he might be going for maybe a surround on these Vultures, going to try and take them down. And if he gets them across the right side bridge and back down across, he might be able to pincer those Vultures in, but it doesn't look like he went for that. It looks like he just went for the top of his bridge, and those Vultures are going to get away. I'm going to live to see another day. I would have liked to see him maybe try to trap those Vultures in. I think that could have been very effective and given him a little bit of an advantage in the fight there. And wonder what that building is. It looks like it doesn't look like a supply depot. It looks like it might actually be a tech building of some form. And 3 more Vultures, or well, actually the same 3 Vultures still in the middle of the map. And now Savior coming in with a bunch of Hydralisks. That bunker is not yet up. There's a Goliath there as well, but the Marine goes down even before the bunker goes up, and a lot of SCVs are going down here. The Vultures are in the back of the Hydralisks, but Vultures are not going to be very effective against Hydralisks at all. And Savior actually pulling back here. I think he might actually want to push in. That he could actually do a lot more damage there, but deciding instead to pull back and wait for more reinforcements. And these Vultures are again going to try and get into Savior's base, but going to be completely ineffective. One of them being picked off by Hydralisk, and they're just going to wander around the map, probably looking for the third base of Savior, assuming that Savior was going to go for a third base at the same time as the attack. And that is a very logical thing to assume. That is what pro gamers do. That is what top gamers actually anywhere do. Even top gamers on IC Cup or in the foreign scene, everywhere, is while you're getting your first big attack, you do go for your next expansion, whether it's your second or your third or whatever it is. Attack and expand at the same time and try and gain an advantage that way and gain that time advantage. And Overlord, that Overlord looks like it has speed dump, but it's going to get caught by these Goliaths. And I wonder if Savior's going for some sort of a drop build here at some point, if he's going for a mid-game drop or maybe early mid-game drop, and that's why he had Overlord speed, because that Overlord was flying. And we see a lot of Hydralisks out for Savior. Now it looks like he's going to come back across looking to do some more damage to Nada, but not able to cross the bridges, losing a few Hydralisks there, able to kill off 1 or 2 Goliaths before being pushed back. And now the Vulture's seeing the third base for Savior going up.